I am about to give you a hot take so strong that it'll blow your socks off when it comes to Pokemon investing in 2023. Stay tuned. Alright guys, just a reminder that this is going to be the last day for the subscriber giveaway. I know I said last Friday it was going to be. My wife and kids got sick and I just postponed it. It has been scheduled now for coming up here on Saturday. So definitely be sure to get all of your entries in, get everything taken care of right now, because this is going to be the last chance. Tonight at midnight Central Time, I will be shutting down the servers. So that way Saturday morning I can compile the information and get all of that ready to go for Saturday's live. We'll be giving away the 4 products, of course, the Chilling Reign booster box. We are going to have the Silver Tempest booster box, the Tin of Hidden Fates, and last but not least, a Charizard UPC. Thank you guys for getting me to 2,500 subscribers, and we have blown way past that. So there are some bigger things coming in this channel. Definitely thank you to everybody in the community as we move forward, and we'll be having a good discussion on Saturday. Have some fun and just kind of relax and hang out with each other and just talk about whatever we want. It's not going to be a structured live in any way, shape, or form. It's just going to be an appreciation live. Anybody in the community is more than welcome to stop by, have some time, if you have some time, and relax and just sit as a lounge and have some talks. So once again, guys, thank you for getting us to that milestone of that 2,500 subscribers. Of course, the goal for 2023 is to try and hit 5,000 subscribers. Now that's quite a bit of a gain, but I feel that we can do this in the community. The channel's been doing strong, and I try and give you the best content that I can to help you guys out on your Pokemon journey. So, without further ado, after that reminder, let's get into the real subject matter of this video, which of course is going to be the hot take that I think is going to be some big news, or maybe some people already agree with it. Hey, when it comes down to it, this is sometimes you just need to hear this information from people to make sure that you're making correct decisions when it comes down to your Pokemon investment. So, let's take a look at the kind of misnomer that's been coming around quite a bit, and this is going to go against a lot of investment channels, and it's going to go with a lot of investment channels. But when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, the border colors does not make any difference, guys, on the reprint status of these cards. It is just ink. They are not getting rid of yellow ink. They will continue to print Pokemon cards with yellow borders. So if you're making your investment decisions based on that yellow border and that silver border coming in Scarlet and Violet, don't let that be your factor. It is not a factor. There is never going to be a Pokemon announcement saying that we will no longer print yellow bordered cards. The only way that's going to happen is if Hell Freeze is over. Let's just be honest. Let's put it out there. Pokemon never disclaims that they're going to stop printing anything. They have never even disclosed that they will stop printing WotC. There's nothing out there that says that any of these things are completely gone, right? The only thing that we know for sure is that things kind of go out of rotation and they stop printing them to focus on the newer sets for tournament players and for the hype and FOMO for the LGSs to continue to sell product. That is the only really determining factor when it comes down to reprint structure of the Pokemon TCG. Now, just because Scarlet and Violet's coming out, and yes, they are probably already full swing printing silver bordered cards, does not mean that they're just going to cut off yellow cards completely and just say, hey, we can't print yellow anymore because, well, we threw away all the yellow ink. No, that's not going to be a factor. That's not going to be a reason that you need to stop or start investing into Sword and Shield sets. We will probably see reprints of all these recent sets. They're not going to be excluded. They're not going to be removed. The fact of the matter is that some of these decks are still playable, even going into Scarlet and Violet. Some of these decks will be playable, and they are available for tournament play for at least the next 2 years. So once again, that's going to be the main factor when it comes down to reprints, is how popular these sets are, how well that they'll maintain, and then on top of it, how much the tournament players are using these cards. Once again, printer space may become a partial factor in it, but when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, the color of the border is no reason to be jumping in on an investment of a card. That is not going to be a factor. Now, will Pokemon probably focus a little bit more on Scarlet and Violet because of the price point? Yes, I think that if you were going to make a good substantial claim for a reason why they may not reprint as much Sword and Shield, the price point would be a much bigger factor at the end of the day than the color of the border. If we look at that price increase, that MSRP increase, Pokemon's making more money by printing Scarlet and Violet. The LGSs, everybody else is not, but Pokemon is when it comes down to raising that MSRP price. That will be the factor that will cause them to print more Scarlet and Violet and potentially leave some of these Sword and Shield sets behind. We might see little minute or small reprints of these coming forward, but overall, those are going to be your deciding factors. Is more about the playability, how hard it is to find these sets out in the open. So when booster boxes start crossing the $140 price range is really a good indication that Pokemon might be looking at reprints such as Brilliant Stars. Granted, you can still buy Brilliant Stars on the Pokemon Center webpage for $143.99. Now, when that goes away and when that finally removes itself and the open market is still sitting at $180, which is weird that you could go to Pokemon Center right now and purchase a booster box of Brilliant Stars for $143.99, but you can buy them on TCG Player for $130. It's a very odd situation, guys. It's just weird how people don't even look at Pokemon Center or some of the regular avenues when it comes down to purchasing these products, but it's just an abnormality. But once again, when that runs out and the price goes up, and let's just say Arceus decks are still very strong coming forward, and they've been very playable up until this point in tournament play, they may do a reprint of Brilliant Stars at that point. Same thing with Astral Radiance. Same things with Lost Origin, and even going into Silver Tempest. We will see reprints of those if the tournament play is high, if the price of the booster box starts to climb too high, and it becomes very difficult for people to find. When LGSs completely start running out, when Pokemon Center is completely out of product, we will probably see a reprint of those particular sets. That's going to be the bigger determining factor, not the actual color of the border. It makes no difference, guys. They're using yellow. Yellow is used on every electric Pokemon and all the way through. So, just common sense says that that's not even a real reason that you should be thinking about that. And like I said, Pokemon's never, ever, ever, ever going to put out a disclaimer or a notice that says that we will never reprint yellow bordered cards again. It's just absolutely crazy to think that that would happen. They never do that. It'll never happen. If you think that that's going to be a determining factor of why you should purchase these things, and that's why you should jump in on these investments now, is because Scarlet and Violet's coming out in 2 months. They're printing Scarlet and Violet and they'll never go back. It's absolutely craziness to go in that direction. So once again, guys, I just wanted to put that out there. I wanted you to hear it from another source that, hey, yellow borders are not a discrimination when it comes down to Pokemon TCG. It's going to get reprints. We're probably going to see reprints of most of these sets. Remember, guys, they do reprints for usually up to 2 years. So as long as it's in circulation the next 2 years, they will continue to bring up reprints as needed, as necessary, to continue to bring product to the players, to the tournament players, to the market. If there's hype and FOMO for a set, that's why we're not even excluding Evolving Skies. Even though that set is getting closer to that 2-year mark, we probably will see a reprint of Evolving Skies. We typically do right around that 4 months before a set goes out of rotation. We will either see an ETB burst again of Evolving Skies, or hopefully, fingers crossed, I'm really hoping that we will be seeing a booster box reprint of that set. I really, really would like to get some of those booster boxes. I'm just not willing to pay $300, almost $300 for a booster box of Evolving Skies. Granted, I have 5 cases. I would love to really bolster that. So when it comes down to it, I'd like to get a little bit more of that product on the shelf. So once again, I just wanted to take a quick little video here on Friday to really knock that down. For your Pokemon investment in 2023, I would not take the yellow borders being a deciding factor on your investment. It has nothing to do with it. The printers don't care. If you watch, I'll even link down below, Mason put up a very nice video 2 years ago on actually the printing of these cards. Also, Enlisted Leaf did a video not too long ago about printing those. I will put them down in the description below. So if anybody has not seen how the printing process actually works, I think Mason's video did a better job because he was at Millennial Print Group. I don't know where Enlisted Leaf was, and it seemed like it was back in Ultra Prism days. A little bit older technology, while Mason was going with what Millennial Printing Group is using currently, and he did a really good presentation. Hard to hear, but you can actually get some really good ideas on how the machine works and how the printing actually happens on these cards. So once again, I'll link those down below just because I want you guys to see how the printing process works and why that yellow border is no factor whatsoever at the end of the day. So once again, guys, thanks for joining me. Once again, if you have not done it and you have not finished it up, be sure that you get in on that subscriber giveaway. I'll put the link down below to the video, and of course, it's got everything you need to know in order to get in on that stuff from that video link. Also, last but not least, if you have made it this far into the video, be sure that you hit that subscribe button. If you're not here, if you are, be sure you hit that like button, guys. It's the one way we can combat this algorithm and really push these videos forward. You guys have been liking the videos, and they do really well when you do. So please hit that like button before you leave. It's really a great movement for that. And also, last but not least, if you do like that, be sure you turn on your notifications, because notifications, I noticed even on my second account, got shut off for a lot of my channels. So be sure that you go and hit that notification to all. That way, when we're doing even the stuff in the community page, that kind of stuff, you do get notified of them things. So once again, guys, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time here on Northwoods TCG.